We're just gonna hang out with some of the crew at Fantasy Football Network and answer any questions you may have, or just talk fantasy football. Tell us what you think of the site, all that kind of good stuff. Let me go on here and just double check our technical difficulties. There we go. Perfect. Got that live on the site now. For some reason, there's that bug in our streaming system. So already
did kick it off?
Huh?
It did kick it off again?
Yeah, it's done it with all of our live streams today. So I'm on there at the beginning of each one. Just as soon as it kicks it off, I kick it back on. So already in contact with the streaming company and working on that. So
interesting.
Anyways, you've talked to me and Kyle multiple times today, but now Tony's with us. Tony of Fantasy Quick Hits. What's up, Tony?
What's up, guys?
How's it going, man?
It's going great. You guys, I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited too.
Yeah, site looks great. You know, it's hard to launch something like that without a couple of minor technical difficulties, but all that stuff is minor. I'm sure they'll all get ironed out here soon.
I mean, honestly, we were able to fix most of it just on stream at that moment. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of gone without a hitch since, I feel like. So Sweet. That makes me very happy.
Yeah, man. Exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's been a fairly good day. I actually expected more things to go wrong. And so far, the biggest thing that's gone wrong so far is just essentially people being late, hopping on here. You know, like we should have. How many people are hopping on here with us, Kyle, to this hangout?
As far as I know, it's FloJo and Piggy Bank Picks are hopping on here.
Perfect. Well, Piggy will be on in like 10 because that's just he runs on his own time. You know.
As you guys know, today is it's actually my 22nd wedding anniversary.
Yep. Yeah.
And
congrats.
So I put our anniversary plans on hold so that I could be a part of our launch date. So I say that because there's no way I'm going to be late. I'm not here. Hey, she's not going to let me miss our anniversary. And
I really appreciate her. She's a very strong woman to be married to you that long, and a very forgiving woman to let you be on here.
I was gonna say she
good.
She really loves you, man.
Excited too.
What'd you say? 22 years? Is that what you said?
22 years. Yeah, I know she's excited too. We're both excited. So
I love it. Yeah, after 22 years, she's probably like, "Ooh, I don't have to hang out with him on the anniversary. This is probably good for her, right?"
Hey, Corey, keep an eye on your green room over there.
Yeah, he just popped in. I see.
Okay.
I mean, it literally as he was loading in, you said that.
Okay, just making sure.
What's up, FloJo?
Hey, what up? Good looking. Hey, good looking out, Kyle. You know, because I know Corey doesn't always think about me like that.
Well, what's your name again? Look at that. You outside swinging.
Actually, you're not even the one I was talking about. Jay texted and said he's going to hop on real quick.
Whoa.
Okay.
I see you with the.
So fine then. Whatever.
Cool. We're just going to drop you then, Joe.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a happy accident there.
Yeah, no joke. I was going to say, I was like, dang, Kyle, he's still loading in. Like, I see his picture, like, coming in here. So,
well, I can't even see the green room, so I don't know who's over there. But I saw that text from Jay. I was like, okay, let's keep an eye out.
I get an audible alert when someone pops in, so I don't have to keep an eye over there. It just kind of alerts me. So, so we were just talking about Tony's 22nd wedding anniversary, which is today. And his lovely wife, who gave him a lovely life, that let him be on these streams today because she loves him and loves us. Apparently, she loves the Fantasy Football Network. So it's really nice.
Well, it's awesome. Nice to meet you, Tony.
Nice to meet you too. Appreciate that.
I like the backdrop, man. Looking like a pretty fresh setup. Are you in Oklahoma too?
No. I'm on the East Coast.
Okay, whereabouts?
I'm down in Florida.
Nice. Ball guys from
nice.
Florida. Yeah,
I'll
right.
be hot and sweaty today, so I can't be sitting outside like you are. Where are you at?
I'm in Cali. We finally got a break, man. It's
nice.
It's been it's been 100 for the last 3 months.
What's up, fellas?
Oh man.
What's up?
What's up, Jay?
What's up? I don't have my hat on right now, bro. I'm at work.
I know.
Yeah, who's this? Who's this guy popping in here? Is Cadillac sponsoring? Are they paying us money? How's this going? No, just kidding.
Sure.
They're paying you money, right? They're paying you money. Oh, we just lost audio.
Sorry about the plane.
Oh, that's the plane going. Okay, that's Flojo's fault.
That's why I grew up so special, bro. My friends just said we got chromium-6 in the water, bro. That made me a little different. You know what I mean?
Getting hit with them chemtrails.
Yeah. I'm actually at my mom's. I'm at my mom's right now. We had a little birthday party and was missing all the fun, man. I was like, yo, I need at least a half hour. I got to go chop it up and tell my guys everything looks good.
If Tony can miss his wedding anniversary, you can miss a little bit of a birthday party.
All right.
Man, get that FaceTime in.
That's fair, bro. That's fair for sure.
It's tough for me to get on any lives, man. So I wanted to get on at least for a second. You can ask Flo. Like, we try to get things to work out so many times, and it's tough just because my schedule sucks.
No doubt, man. I really appreciate you finding some time to hop in here.
Man, I appreciate what y'all are doing. This is killing it. I've been watching this thing all day, trying to while I'm working. So
he hasn't sold a single car today. He's just in his office, like watching fantasy football.
Yeah. Keeps off talking to somebody because they hear y'all talking.
Doing paperwork, boss. Just doing paperwork.
Yep, that's all I got, man.
It's just really busy selling a lot of cars. Yeah, dude.
Hey, Plug Forces gap insurance on everybody, just so you guys know.
Oh, for those who don't, gap insurance is unneeded if you pay cash.
Oh yeah, pay cash for my caddy. Yeah, for sure. That's
yeah, right. Ballin'.
Dude, you have no idea how many people we had. We had Braves. What was his? The center fielder for the Braves come in the other day named Guillermo something. I don't know. This is fantasy football, so screw baseball. But you know what I'm talking about. He was here. He came in and paid cash money. I was
gonna say, you mentioned baseball, and I think all of our eyes glazed over of like, we don't know anything about baseball players. I don't know.
Yeah.
I almost fell asleep just saying the word baseball.
But seriously.
For real, yeah.
I see you with the landscape, Flojo. I like it.
Well, now I lost you guys, so I don't know what's happening.
Uh-oh.
Go get it.
Carlton. God dang it.
Dude. Sorry, hang on, guys. Bro. But one job.
Man, when you're... I'm starting to wonder if it's a disorder of some sort.
Yeah. No, man. So far the breakdown on the website, man, has been awesome. I think just visually from what I've seen, and I mean I know we went over it before, but all that looks great, dude. I'm loving kind of how this is going, and once we kind of hit fourth gear, we're still in I think second, maybe third, but once we hit fourth gear, man, it's gonna be so cool. The app, man, I think I've gotten a lot of good feedback from a couple of my good friends that have watched, and everyone's pretty pumped, man. I think this could be something big for sure.
I agree. I've had multiple messages today asking me when the app is coming out. People want that app because they want to be mobile with it. And just so everyone knows, we're looking at next week probably for the Android app, and the week after that for the Apple one. So we're just trying to make sure everything is legit on there before just releasing it to everybody. So we don't want any hiccups for you when you get that app. So
that, and Google and Apple don't give a crap about our deadlines and our timelines.
Yeah, pretty much.
They do what they want.
Apple's like, cool, we'll have it back to you within 2 weeks. And it's like, 2 weeks? What in the world? Like, I'm looking for 2 days here, people.
We are live, Apple. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's so that's quite a little fun thing there, but that's cool because it gives us the launch and it gives us other things for people to look forward to, and we'll have it ready before the beginning of the season. So that's the goal. We want it to be ready before the season begins. And like we kind of mentioned earlier in the launch show, like we could have waited to launch all this until we had that ready, but people need the content now, and content is king. That's what people are looking for. Bring the people the content, and we'll bring them the bells and whistles a little bit after that. So it's worth launching now and not waiting.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. Seriously, extremely grateful and proud to be a part of this, guys. I've talked to a couple of buddies that they're gonna send me some shout outs and stuff for Fantasy Football Network. I'll get those to you as quickly as possible for sure.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know you appreciate us, but I mean, we really appreciate you guys, all you guys, even the ones that aren't here. We'll tell them later. They know. It's an honor, man. It's an honor to work with you guys, great content creators, great minds in the business, making great content. It's an honor to even be mentioned in the same graphic, in the same social media post, like getting retweets from you guys. It's cool. It's really cool. It's an honor. And yeah, we really appreciate it too. So it's very mutual, and it's cool, man. It's fun. I think it's going big places, and I love it.
They're talking to you guys.
Yep.
You too. Nice to meet you.
Keep Carlton in check.
Later, plug.
We'll see you in the draft, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Don't let him push any buttons on the draft later.
I'll tell you, he's pushing a button right now. I'm telling you, man. I don't know if y'all have seen any of the, like, whenever I first brought him in, my mom made me do it because he's a cousin. And we brought him in. Yeah, you go. Close the door. Anytime, the first time I had him get my coffee, he ruined it. And ever since, he just can't seem to figure it out. So that's strike number one. Now he wants to do a mock draft, and him being the guy putting it on, and I'm like, okay, cool, we can do that. So he's gonna embarrass himself. So anyway, yeah, gentlemen, I actually do have to go. I got to get back to work and go, bro, and go handle something real quick. But I appreciate you guys having me on. I love everything you guys are doing. I'm very proud and very happy to be a part of it. Anything you guys need from me, I'm more than happy to do whatever you ask for if it is within my power. Just love it, man. Love it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Cool, man. Appreciate it. We'll see you in a few hours at the draft.
Yes, sir.
See you, buddy.
Sure to plug.
Later.
So Tony, I'm curious, man. I want to know a little more about you, your kind of history, how you lined up with these two amazing genius brothers.
I was wondering what you were about to say after that pause on these two. We're
I wanted to make
here.
sure you guys are brothers, so I think you guys said you were. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. My story, I guess, in a nutshell, I come from a large family. I have a large Italian family. I'm 31 of 78 grandchildren.
Oh wow!
Tons of boys. I'll be 50 in a couple of weeks coming up here, so I'm an old timer.
Nice.
But I grew up in a large family. We were all sports fanatics. I'm from upstate New York originally, and so we kind of constantly ate New York sports: Giants, Knicks, Yankees. And so I kind of grew up in that environment, very active in sports myself growing up, Little League and football. And, as I kind of got older, couldn't play sports as much anymore and kind of caught on to fantasy football. It was kind of my outlet. That was the way that I could still stay connected, plugged in. It's a big hobby of mine. I just love sports in general. So I think my first draft, I don't remember Eddie George. And I started playing in the early 2000s, 2001, 2002. Got connected onto some of the ESPN leagues, which is where I met Kyle. Kyle, we're maybe 12 years, something like that?
Yeah, about 12 years, yeah.
Maybe about 12 years now I've known Kyle. Then, of course, I introduced to Corey. So, Kyle and I used to run some of those leagues and make backdoor deals and trades and
backdoor makes them sound wrong.
Kyle seems kind of shady.
So what was that?
I can see
You
that.
took me to the woodshed. I wouldn't call that a backdoor deal necessarily.
Sounds like you got backdoored.
I got backdoored. Dude screwed me over. Took half my roster for Des Bryant, but that was
sometimes you got to learn.
And
sometimes you got to learn the hard way.
That's true.
And but I'm still very active in some of those leagues. I have my own leagues that I still participate in with friends down here locally. And so when I got reconnected here, actually we kind of got disconnected for a couple of years with fantasy, and then Kyle reached back out this year, starting up a new league, and then kind of just restarted everything for us, got plugged in with them, and now into the Fantasy Football Network, which super excited about because this is a great outlet for me and just my hobby and my passion for sports, for football, for fantasy football. So I think that's, one of the things I'm most excited about is just to get connected with other guys like you and collaborate and talk and sharpen each other and share knowledge. So, So what about you? Give me your story. You're in California?
Yeah, man. Well, that's pretty cool. And I'll touch on a couple highlights for me, but I'm curious to some of your thoughts if you've been in the game this long and you're taking Kyle to the back alley and bending him over. Apparently, we're cut from the same cloth. So
right, that's good.
I love that move. I love that move myself, bro. But no, man, I'm born and raised in Cali. Same thing, man. I'm actually not from a big family. I'm an only child, which maybe says a lot. But I played sports my whole life, man. I played football, basketball. I actually got a scholarship to play football in Connecticut. I had a good friend who was from upstate New York in Syracuse. We visited him a couple times, and I was like, damn, man, this is feels like it's the end of the world all the way up there.
Seriously.
But
I wasn't that far up.
Okay, where were you? Utica?
I was in the Catskills, Mike Tyson territory.
Oh, okay. So
about an hour north of the city. But I had friends in Syracuse, for school, so we used to go up there too, and it felt the same to me.
In Syracuse?
Okay.
Syracuse.
Yeah. Syracuse.
Oh, Tyson, yeah. Syracuse was deep, but
Syracuse.
Yeah, I played 1AA at Sacred Heart. You're probably familiar then if you're from New York.
Sure.
It was in Connecticut. Smaller school, but my passion my whole life, man. I played QB and nothing more. I don't know, man. That competitive spirit, always wanting to win, push your guys to get better. Be the leader. The whole thing, man. That's just kind of in my DNA. And same thing with you, man. Like I didn't make it to the league, and you finish college and you're like, shit, man. Like what else? What do you do now? And then fantasy football, and it's just like, this is the best, bro, because you can, pretend like you know what the hell you're talking about and get lucky sometimes here and there and have some fun and bash your friends and, bend some people over, Kyle. And,
Get me on a Homer trade. And you can also bench Tom Brady if you feel like it. So take that.
Kyle's all in love, Kyle. All in love.
It's the only game you can get away with benching Tom Brady. Yeah.
And my mom lives
at the airport, apparently.
Right next to the airport.
The Burbank Airport. We, when they first put in the airport, they gave everyone free double pane windows and central air and heating, and they said, we're going to give you guys this for free, and if you ever petition for this airport not to go international, you can't say shit. So obviously we had fans in our windows our whole life, and the AC was a nice upgrade, man. So I told them, do it and don't say shit.
Yep. Deal with a little noise now and then, you're good to go. A lot of people have to deal with that and don't get anything out of it, so that's not a bad deal.
True.
It's true, but I'm up north a little bit now. Burbank's too expensive, so we're up in Santa Clarita, and man, it's just, I love it. I love the camaraderie. I love the IG community, man. I met so many good people, all like-minded, right? All super competitive, all wanting to help, all passionate about football, and that, like I said, man, that's just been in my whole life. So I'm pumped to be a part of this, dude. I'm pumped to have ran into Piggy and Seven, and now Kyle and Corey, and just like I said, man, the whole community for me has just been the best, man. It all started with Rob from State of Mind, and I got tight with Ball Guy, and he started his page, and my wife was like, go ahead, Joe, like you do it all the time, like why not? What if you say something somebody might like? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I got some good takes sometimes.
You got some hot takes sometimes too.
Your boy gets spicy, bro, for sure.
Yeah, dude.
But the reality is, man, is I watch football 12 hours on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. So why not use that recon to try to help some people out?
Yeah, and
I agree completely. And especially like me and Kyle talked about this, just the community of it. that's why I like the network, is because it's bringing together community. You know, it's even got the chat on it and everything to bring people together while they're on the site. So it's just to bring everyone to a central location, view the content, chat with each other. Not only viewers, but for us as content creators, now it's creating opportunities like this, you know, where us content creators get to hang out for a full day, get to know each other better, even though we've been working with each other, get to know each other better, and just build that relationship. It's cool. I like it.
For sure, bro.
It's good stuff.
I'm just like I said, man. So Tony, I'm curious. I know, you know, Corey and Kyle, I don't know too much about, you know, their takes and people that they like or dislike, but talk to me about a late first round, early second round running back that you might be higher on or lower on than most.
A late first round, early second round. I don't know if I can say than most, but I can tell you a guy that I absolutely love that I've been trying to steal if I'm in that late first, early second round. I actually just did an auction draft on Thursday night, and I was all over this guy. But I've got big expectations for Antonio Gibson. I think Antonio Gibson's going to explode this year. I think they're going to kind of put him into a. And you'll read this on some content sites, but you know, Christian McCaffrey type role. He looked fantastic in that preseason game last Thursday. I know the one knock on him is doesn't catch much coming out of the backfield, but I think that's going to change this year, and we can see this. I think we can see him hit a sky high ceiling. How about you?
I mean, I love that take. I think. You know, to your point, you know, Antonio Gibson has zero tread on his tires, bro. He had, I think, 120 something touches in college, right? He was mostly a receiver.
Right.
The guy fits that role perfectly. For him to do what he did last year, score. I mean, you know, obviously that TD efficiency might drop a little bit. I've always said this, man. Like, I believe in his talent, and I believe that the Redskins would be stupid not to utilize him more as a receiver or in the receiving type role based in comparison to Peyton Barber. Yes, I know. Excuse me, not Peyton Barber. J.D. McKissick, who had a decent year last year, but that's because Alex Smith was the quarterback. I think that was a direct result of that type of volume for that average type of player. And, you know, if they can script him in to get some actual looks out of the backfield and use what he mostly did in college, and then on top of that, everything that he did last year and showed us as a world what he can do as a runner, what he can do inside the red zone. I mean, love, man. Okay, so I think we were talking about this. Najee, Gibson, Joe Mixon, CEH. Those four on the board. Who you taking?
Give me those names again.
Najee, Joe Mixon, Antonio Gibson, CEH.
Gibson, easy.
I'm going Gibson. Yeah, I like Gibson that much.
So Gibson over Najee for everybody, huh?
Only because, you know, I need to see Najee do it. He's going to get the volume. We know he's going to get the volume. I'm a little bit concerned about the line issues. I mean,
yes.
He definitely has the talent. Ben seems to be in the twilight, and I don't know how effective he's going to be this year. You know, behind center. So I have some question marks with Najee. But Dynasty, that's an interesting take. Like, who would you rather have in Dynasty? Forget about redraft, but Dynasty, are you taking Najee or are you taking Antonio Gibson?
I'm still taking Gibson.
Yeah.
I think it's a little closer that, you know, even though Gibson didn't get that much run, but, you know, I think, I'm not going to speak for you guys, but I'd be lying to say if, you know, that toe and that issue being a tad bit concerning, right? That just brings up a percentage of hesitation on my end, especially in a dynasty when you're trying to ride this dude for 4 or 5 years. You know, there is some question there. Can he re-injure? Yes. Has it lingered? Supposedly not. For it to last as long as it did, for that to come up and be an issue early in this camp, you know, initially I traded for Antonio Gibson, bro, and then like a week later, it came out and I was like, you know what I mean? I was a little like, what happened?
Of course.
And yeah, right. And then so now everything's fine and he's good and there's no lingering effects. But Dynasty, I think I'm leading Najee. In redraft.
Really? You like Najee that much?
Not that much either. Look, all your points are completely valid. That offensive line, Ben kind of being on the back end, I think they're still going to throw the shit ton out of the ball. Najee's been used as a receiver. To me, as a prospect, nothing that really stood out. He's solid. He got volume. He's not fast. He's bigger. He's serviceable, right? But like as a talent, he didn't really impress me. But there's just something about that Steelers RB, and they're just gonna get so much work. That's always enticing. You know what I mean? Despite all the the O-line, all those concerns, because look, Washington's got a good D and Washington's got a good O-line. So if they're playing with some leads, Gibson's gonna eat. So like that's the type of running backs. Piggy talks to that all the time. You want to match your RBs with a good defense, right? Because normally, that's why I was so high on Cam Akers, man, and I was I still get a little emotional thinking about it. But
yeah, you're right. I mean, those are all fantastic points too. Game script. And I love the point you make about Gibson having low tread. He's a low mileage guy coming out of college. And one other thing I want to point out too with Najee that concerns me just a wee bit is his running style in the NFL. This guy runs. I mean, I think I read someplace that they pulled him out of practice in camp one week because he was practicing too hard. He was running too hard. So I just a little bit nervous about the beating his body's going to take and whether or not he's going to be to last, especially now that we're going to an extra game in the season. So I don't think they're going to put him on a pitch count. But man, Gibson's my type of guy. I love this guy. I think he's going to do it all this year.
I mean, I get what you're saying too, but like, if that's me, and I don't know who's played football. I'm sure we've all played high school, whatever. Like, you want to go full speed, you want to go hard, bro. That's how you avoid injury, and that's what I want. And all my players, I want you to be nasty, bro. I want you to do work. I want you, like, to me, that's almost a compliment. Having a coach say like, this dude's going too hard. Like, I want that guy on my team.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
But in a dynasty, if he gets hurt or something, I mean, if he goes too hard, that can be detrimental at some point if he's working his body that hard.
Not everyone's Derrick Henry. Not everyone has that Derrick Henry build and just the freaking nature where
he's not human. That doesn't count. Not the same.
Sometimes they turn out to be a Trent Richardson or an Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
I think I'm lower on Derrick Henry than most people, and I think as far as we're talking about dynasty, like if you didn't sell Derrick Henry this year in dynasty, I think you're making a mistake as a manager. That's my honest opinion.
I think that's one of those spicy takes right there for sure.
Yeah, your boy got real spicy. I said he's not a top 7 pick.
I know. I was like, I put that out there in a poll on my Instagram, and people thought you were crazy. So,
hey, look, I could be, but with that defense being as bad as they are, with them bringing in Julio, with the efficiency of that offense, which has maintained, I get Derrick Henry's different, but not every running back, but there's like 90% in this research that I found. At least 90% of running backs that rushed for 2,000 yards the following year, they had a 30% regression. As well as Derrick Henry has only caught 18 and 19 passes in back-to-back years. So if you're playing in a PPR league, I think that automatically drops his value a tad bit. And like we just talked about tread. My man had 2,000 yards, I think, in college, right? He's had almost 400 carries in back-to-back seasons. Like, yes, he's not human, but guess what, bro? He is human. He still bleeds. He puts his pants on one leg at a time. And there's going to come a point. So
there was some restful time in between college and those heavy seasons, though, where he wasn't quite used at that.
What, like a year? Maybe?
At that level.
But
about
he still was at like
maybe
200 plus, wasn't he?
Oh, probably still pretty high up there, but not at that level that he was. That he has been, I mean. But
I mean, yeah, 400 carries. Like I said, bro, like, the running back shelf life, that's no joke. Right. You talk about the tight end, rookie, we can transition to Kyle Pitts just because that history is there for a reason.
Hey, careful what you say about Kyle Pitts. You don't want to hurt Tony's feelings right here.
I'm all over Kyle Pitts too. I love Kyle Pitts.
Hey, he's special. I'm not denying that. I was watching him run a couple routes in one-on-ones, and everyone's like, "Oh, I was like, dude, have you ever tried guarding anyone one-on-one in your life? Like, you're gonna win. Like you're gonna get open."
But this dude's freaky. This guy, I mean, he's got the widest wingspan of any receiver
in the league. Yeah.
I mean, he's a tight end, not in the league over the past 20 years. So Calvin Johnson, DK Metcalf set the record. He's got a wider wingspan than DK. What I'm doing though is I'm looking at, I'm kind of reading the tea leaves, I guess, because Falcons took him 3rd overall. They moved Julio. They didn't make any type of a splash even on running back. It tells you something about what they think of Mike Davis. But you've got Ridley. And you've got you've got Pitts. I just feel like based on some of the moves they've made, where they took this guy, he's going to be, I don't want to say the focal point, but he's going to be a focal point in that offense. They're gonna run this guy all over the field.
I love that. And here's also too, they got a new offensive coordinator, right? Came from, I believe, Tennessee. Run double tight. That he's going to be on the field. If they split him out in the red zone and they throw him fades, my man's going to catch 8 to 10 touchdowns. Like, I can see that easily happening.
Yeah.
I just, in the 4th round, is he we got Southwest in the building.
I feel like they're landing in my room here.
Like, okay, so let's just say you went, let's say, okay, so you're taking Gibby. Would you take Gibby over Eckler? Any of you guys?
Are you talking redraft or dynasty? Redraft, I'm taking Eckler, I think, for me, just because I've got a crush.
I think I'd still lean Gibson, honestly.
Wow. So you got Gibson all the way up to like 8 or 9.
I like Gibson.
I like how you're just like, I like Gibson.
I want to say
I haven't counted down to there, but yeah, I like Gibson.
I like Eckler a lot this year too, though. But I don't see him getting the same volume in the running game. I think Eckler is kind of a pass. Give me what are your thoughts on touchdowns? Like, who do you think is gonna score more or have more red zone opportunities between Eckler and Gibson?
Probably pretty close. I mean, as far as red zone touches, like say within the 5 or closer.
Yeah.
Like that's his game. I think he established that. Maybe necessarily not Eckler's, but they can throw a toss, they can throw a bubble. They're going to use him in the passing game. And the new OC for the LA Chargers, I think, if I'm not mistaken, came from New Orleans. So we saw how he fed Alvin Kamara. I got Eckler pretty high. Basically, when Cam Akers went down, I slid Eckler into my basically top 8. So I would take Eckler over Gibby, but I'm just trying to paint the picture. So let's just say you took Gibby at 8, and on the turn you came back and you took don't say you took Calvin Ridley, because I want to set up you taking Pitts. So say you took Joe Mixon or whatever in the 4th round. Okay, with the type of available talent that's there, you're still pulling the trigger on a Kyle Pitts.
I think I am, yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think for me, look at the tight end position this year. I mean, give me let's rank tight ends. Let's do that. You got Kelsey's what? Kelsey's got to be in a tier all by himself, I would think. Kittle coming off the year last year, maybe you get him a little bit undervalued. Maybe guys a little skittish on pulling the trigger on Kittle. But we're not going to argue these two guys, right? 1 and 2.
I think we're going to throw Waller up there with Kittle, probably.
Okay, right. You have Waller, sure. I can see making an argument for that. So okay, so 1, 2, 3 in some order. So go after that. Who do you got 4, 5, and 6?
So that's where it gets tricky, because I think Hawkinson's going to see so much volume there. I think we've already seen, what Goff likes to do, right? He likes to throw that underneath that crossing route. I think Hawkinson in a full point PPR league, I have slightly ahead of Pitts, but after that, like, I'm not, Mark Andrews in the 5th, I'm not too happy about. Hawkinson in the 5th versus Pitts in the 4th, to me, is really close, man. Trust me, I fall in love with talent, man. Like, I'm a big, I see talent. I love Zach Wilson, man, and people don't think he's that great. I get that Trey Lance and Justin Fields, they have a lot more upside, but from a thrower, from an arm talent standpoint, something I feel like I have a little bit of familiarity with. Like, the dude's special, and people don't see that, and they're automatically disregarding him. And I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. Anyways, we'll go back to Kyle Pitts because I see the talent, bro. I know how special he is. He was taken, number 3 in the draft, number 4 in the draft. Like, that's not by accident, So I don't want to have to be eating crow. I think I'm going to try to diversify and get him on a couple of my teams. Dynasty, forget about it. But there's just, like in a round 4, man. Like, would you rather take, like, who's going around 4? Julio, Bobby Trees. Scary Terry's not falling that far. I mean, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson. Like, I know those guys are usually in the 3rd. I don't have my my stuff up, but.
So I'll jump in there and just say that I think it kind of depends on how your draft is going too.
Always.
I mean, I'm a firm believer in trying to snag one of the top tight ends. And if tight ends are going off the board and you get up there and there's still a plethora of good wide receivers to choose from, but you're at your last 1 or 2 top tier tight ends, I'm snagging a tight end at that point so that I don't get stuck with one of the lower ones that I'm drafting down in round 9 or 10 because no one else warrants anything higher than that. I don't want to get stuck with something like that or put in a bad situation where I am taking, a tight end in the 5th that I'm not comfortable with. So I think it depends on how your draft is going. If those top 3 are gone, maybe even someone takes Hawkinson because they're not comfortable with Pitts, then yeah, I'm snagging Pitts ASAP. And because wide receiver is so much deeper, that tight end, the top tier in tight end is so shallow, and then there's a big drop off. I think it's getting a little bit better, but a lot of that is just like even like a Noah Fant. Yeah, freak of nature, quarterback situation, not great. We'll see. Like Tanyan produced 1 season with a bunch of touchdowns. We don't know how that's going to go. Goddard, now Ertz is back, so that kind of drops him. Like. So you're kind of getting up into these, I don't know, there's too many question marks where these guys are really athletic, but we don't know how they're actually going to produce. So I think you take one of those top tight ends if you're forced in that situation.
So what's Pitts' line then, Tony? Tell me what you think he's going to finish with.
That's a great question. Before I even kind of try and get into what I think his stats are going to look like, it's going to depend on the type of league we're talking about too. I'm assuming we're talking redraft, but it seems like the trend now, everyone's doing these 2 quarterback leagues, the super flex leagues. Of course, that will have an impact on where you're going to value him, where you're going to draft him, PPR. So when I'm talking about maybe looking at him 4th, maybe 5th round, I'm talking just your standard PPR league, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end. If I can grab that guy, I just think that the upside is so significant and so big. I don't know. That's a great question. What do you mean? I haven't kind of put numbers down in terms of where I think he's going to finish. I do think. What's that?
How about how many touchdowns?
Yeah, I think this guy's going to be a red zone threat. So I think we're probably looking at about 10 touchdowns from him this year. Okay. And I think he's going to get I'm kind of looking at maybe 120, 130 targets.
Okay. So safe to say maybe 75 for 850 and 10?
Yeah, I think that's safe.
I mean, that's top 5 tight end, right? I mean, that's 10. I think Bobby Tunyon did that on 54 catches. I don't know how many touchdowns he had, but look as far as from the Packers, man, and I mentioned it on media when we had In the Trenches, like that team, bro, they scored so many touchdowns. I think as a team total on last year, I think it was like 9. He was like 9% or something per attempt, and the league average is about 4 something. So like. The reason why all this numbers exist, bro, is because everything's going to regress back to the mean. That's not going to sustain. Devontae Adams isn't going to catch 19 touchdowns and play 13, 14 games, whatever he did. You know what I mean? Aaron Jones, I think, is the only – I was not sold on him last year. And what he did in back-to-back seasons, I was like, okay, that's Doesn't seem like it's a fluke, man. My guy does work. The offense is going to be efficient. I just see it as a whole that team offensively is going to take a regression when it comes to TDs this year. But I still love Aaron Jones. I'm not drafting Devontae Adams in the first round. That's just my personal preference. And Corey, you had a good point, man, right? It's all about kind of how you're designing your team. You know, I think that's really, really big as far as when you're going to take a risk, when you're going to shoot for upside, when you're going to reach for a player, what you feel you can kind of manage on the way back with potential receivers. You know, all of that strategy has to be factored in. And that's why, like, this shit is so awesome, right? And then you get sniped, and then you're on tilt for a minute, and then you got to, like, recalibrate, and then, like, redesign a plan and just go with the flow. And then, like, end of the draft, bro, I'm like, look, and I'm just taking best available, and I'm going to start trading everybody because I hate my team. You know, sometimes it works like that, too.
I can love my team, and I'm looking to trade everybody. Like,
sometimes
that's just
it happens that way.
I'm sending out trade offers 10 minutes after every draft. Like, no doubt about it. That's just
so you're a sick degenerate like me, bro. I like that.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, time to start the fun stuff. Like, the draft is fun, and then the trading is fun, and let's get started on this party.
I'm never content. I almost had a couple of trades in one of our leagues with Cam Akers, and then he got hurt, and obviously all that went to the wayside. That was heartbreaking.
That close. Yeah, I just feel like, especially on this tight end talk, like, there are wide receivers that I can get down in the, like, 8th round that I'm comfortable playing with. Like, wide receivers to me are so deep.
So let me ask
and
you,
it's kind of the same thing with quarterbacks. If I'm not getting one of those top, like 4 quarterbacks, I'm waiting until later on, because they're also going to be deep, and then they're all kind of the same beyond that.
Before we pivot to wide receivers, I just got just to stick on the tight ends. So let's say you miss and you don't grab a Kyle Pitts, you don't grab a Hawkinson, and I'm not sure how you feel about Higbee and some of the other guys that are rounding out the top 10. Who's a guy that you can grab in the later rounds that you like his upside?
Gerald Everett. Love Gerald Everett. If I'm punting, I'm scooping Gerald Everett. You know what? You know what's crazy? I just had I got forced into another dynasty league. By the way, on the Cam Akers real quick, when we could put it to bed, both of my first dynasty startups were Kyler and Cam Akers. So, in a super flex. So Cam Akers is my boy. Anyway, Gerald Everett, super deep. And you know what? The guy's not even being ranked, bro. Jared Cook. Okay, if we're projecting this Chargers offense to be as good as it is and Herbie to be as good as he is and all those weapons, if you watch some of that spring tape, Jared Cook is making plays. He's going to move the chains. He's gross. He's Beetlejuice. Nothing about him makes you feel good about him on your team. But if you can take Jared Cook and kind of maybe cuff with Parham, it's not the worst, man. If you're completely punting and you're taking him in the 14th round, just throwing that out there. But Higbee, Logan Thomas, those 2 guys I really, really, really like this year. Not really like, but like I'm okay with getting them in this 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round. I think Higbee, bro, is gonna he's getting slept on without Akers in that offense, with Stafford. I believe they're gonna transition and lean a little bit more on Stafford and his arm and his ability to make those plays. Even though that defense is great and they might not always be in game flows where they need to pass the ball, Sean McVay is a great offensive coordinator, and they're gonna score points. They're gonna win games. I think Higbee's going to have a really, really safe floor. I don't know how much upside he will have, but Higbee and Logan Thomas, in my opinion, are 2 dudes that I can get after the 8th round that I believe could easily finish in the top 10.
Yeah, and I like the Smiths, Jonnu and
Dude,
Irv.
that's exactly what I was about to say. Smith or Smith.
Both solid too. I was high on Jonnu last year. Irv Smith, I'm a little more skeptical, just because, look, man, the guy's metrics, everything, he's super athletic. The guy has an opportunity. Kyle Rudolph's gone. I just don't know if I completely trust him for whatever reason, but he could definitely.
I think when you look at ADP value, I think Irv Smith is a good deal. Same with Johnny. I mean, just talking about guys you can pick up late that willing to take a flyer on. I think both the Smiths fit that mold. In fact, we've been able to pick them up in some dynasty drafts, both of them really late. Even Johnny going after Hunter Henry, which, hey,
crazy
sucks to pick up Henry,
both
but I think Smith is that guy.
Both have gained steam in ADP since those dynasty drafts, though.
Yeah.
But so is, of course, Troutman for New Orleans has gained a lot of steam since this news with Thomas being out for a few weeks. So
Guy hasn't seen any love though, bro. So like gain some steam, yes, in the past week or two. Like I think the numbers are coming out to where the guy's just not getting targeted. And if Taysom Hill's the quarterback, look, I'm one of the, and I want to hear your thoughts on all of your guys' thoughts on Saquon Barkley because I think I'm the highest out of most people on Saquon. Not the highest, but he's the top 5 guy for me. I just want to know, like, if Taysom Hill's a quarterback, and everyone's so sure, Alvin is so sure about Alvin Kamara being a top 3 pick, right? Shitty offense, no weapons. Okay, they have a better O-line, but that's about it. Like, why is everyone so sure they're just gonna feed Kamara? Like, you know what I mean? That's what you think they might do, but Taysom Hill's not that guy. Okay, he's gonna be efficient. He's gonna move the chains. He's gonna run the ball. He's gonna take away touchdowns for Kamara in the red zone. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not saying I'm taking AK over Saquon, but people are just so sure, man. And to me, there's a lot of question marks that need to be talked about.
Yeah, I don't see Taysom winning that quarterback competition, anyways.
You don't?
No, I think from what I'm hearing, or what I'm seeing here and thinking, I think it's Jameis Winston right there.
Well, Winston in Tampa Bay, Winston dumped off to the running back 18% of the time. He's not Drew Brees was a dump off guy. So I mean, Kamara's numbers plummeted when Brees was out. I don't see the value there this year. I'm nervous about Kamara. I'm nervous about Saquon. I just want to put my 2 cents into real quick. Someone you threw out there. If I miss on a Pitts or a Hawkinson, I'm waiting and I'm going after Logan Thomas. I love him this year. I don't think he was a fluke. They gave this guy a monster deal in the offseason. Again, reading the tea leaves, they believe in this guy. They're going to feed this guy the ball. You don't give him that much money to block. So I love Logan Thomas. I think he's a great value for his ADP, and I think he will finish. I'm gonna say he's going to finish. I'll say top 7.
Nice. I like that call.
With the ceiling, I think his ceiling could be higher than that, but especially with Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick is going to get the ball to this guy. You got McLaren out there. Logan Thomas is going to get his looks. I'm confident of that this year.
Curtis Samuel, they got weapons, man.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel too. Yeah. Anyway, so okay, you guys were going to start talking running back. You want to talk Saquon?
I just because look, a lot of people, I get the hesitation, the knee. To me, special, bro. He's a special player. Like, who are you going to take over him at 5? I mean, I guess you guys would take Derrick Henry.
Zeke.
Zeke. I think I have Zeke at 4. So I think Zeke for sure over Saquon at this point, just because it just feels completely safe. My man's in good shape. He lost some weight. You know what? I love Zeke. They have him on Hard Knocks, and he's like, to me, he's like a college frat guy still, bro. Like he seems like he's dumb as shit, and he's just like I just love that.
I'll tell you,
growing the ball.
I'll tell you somebody else. I'll tell you another guy who I like a lot, and this might surprise you, or maybe because you like Saquon. Saquon healthy is a league winner.
Yeah.
This guy's Tomlinson, Marshall Faulk. The guy does it all.
Yeah.
I don't trust the knee. Daniel Jones has got a limp arm. They got tons of receivers there. The receiver room was full. I don't see Saquon. I'm nervous about him. When you draft him that high, he's got to deliver. A guy that I love this year, along with Zeke. You talk about Eckler, Gibson. And I'm not. This isn't a name that you guys don't know, but Aaron Jones. I think guys are sleeping on Aaron Jones, and Rodgers has already coined it the last dance. They're coming back this year. They're upset about how that game ended last year in the championship game against Tampa. Aaron Jones, this guy's legit, man. This guy is, and he could easily score 12, 14 touchdowns plus. I mean, he's just I think I'd rather have a guy like that over Saquon, where I really trust him going into the season. With Aaron Rodgers wanting to make a statement this year, I'm all over Aaron Jones.
Me too, man. I like that call. Apparently, though, you didn't watch In the Trenches, Tony.
What I miss?
I was shitting on Aaron Rodgers because look, I believe it's not the last dance in my opinion, bro.
I watched it.
Oh, you did? Okay. So
yeah.
I think he proved whatever he needed to prove last year, bro. I
heard your take. That was you?
Yeah. He shit on the entire league. Okay. There's nothing else for him to prove. He's getting his people fed. He's being a good dude and a good human. But I believe his next move is what's really most important to him.
No.
This is just like
no way.
I mean,
no way, dude. These guys like Aaron Rodgers. This guy's got a ton of pride. These guys you talk about the competitive streak. This guy's a competitor. He's coming back. he wants to make another statement this year. If this is his last dance and he's going out and he's bringing his guys in, he wants to make another statement. I don't think the MVP last year was enough.
He's a
people are
narcissist.
sleeping on Aaron Rodgers.
People are sleeping on Aaron
Rodgers. That guy could. If I told you that Aaron Rodgers finished again MVP this year, you guys wouldn't be that surprised. Come on.
No. I think
he's full of himself.
He wants to show the Packers what they're losing when he leaves.
Yeah,
but he wants the rest of the team begging them to keep him.
Already
and he's
left.
Nope, like not having it.
He's gone already. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Yeah. He negotiated that in his deal. Like to me, it's not like there's a question. Like my man only came back to make sure that he does not have to stay in Green Bay next year. And you mentioned The Last Dance. The guy won a chip in 2012, bro. Like he's not Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
He's just there so he doesn't get fined.
I see a lot of repeat with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning came back. He wasn't just about playing 1 year to prove the doubters wrong. This guy came back and he made a statement in Denver over his final years.
That's my point. Like,
what's that?
And on his next team. That's exactly my point.
But he's the same. I mean, how many years has he got left?
And it'll probably also be Denver.
He's looking at
kind of funny.
Brady, and he's like, "Oh shit! I guess I can play for another 5 to 7."
Denver has one hell of a retirement home there at Mile High Stadium.
Everybody wants to retire to the mountains, so they're
like, "Hey guys, we got Jello cups," and they're just like, "Ooh, let's go play our last game."
Who is going to flop this year again? And Rodgers is coming to Miami.
Yeah. Hey man,
that's got the talent.
Defense with Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
I at least believe the first part of that statement. Which
Kevin
would kill me for saying, but it's a good thing Piggy didn't show up. He'd murder me through the screen now.
How classic was that media just randomly started bashing on the Dolphins and Piggy was just there just taking it. That was so great.
That was pretty funny. Where is Piggy anyways? He was supposed to be here for this one.
God damn it, Piggy.
Yeah, so we think that Aaron Rodgers, what's going on in his head right now is just do.
Yeah, he's gonna play in Denver for a few years and then go host Jeopardy.
Just waiting for the next season, huh?
Get done rotating people through.
That's what he'll do. Like, what he's gonna change plays on the field. You know what I mean? Like, he's just gonna do some foul shit. Like, he doesn't care. Like a middle finger to the whole organization.
You could be right. I'm not going to discount what you're saying. I give it like 80-20.
Bring back Randall Cobb. Come on, bro. That guy's so washed. He brought him back so he can get paid and retire, bro. That's really all that contract was about. Randall Cobb sucks.
Could be.
Let's go ahead and grab Jordy Nelson and Donald Driver and bring them back.
Yeah, I almost feel like Aaron Rodgers told them, like, I want Cobb back, just to test and see if they would do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were like, okay, let's get Cobb. And he was like, oh my gosh, they actually did it. He's just messing with them now, seeing what they'll spend money on to make him happy.
Real, man. Well, look, man, I got to, I got 2 little ones. I got to get back to dad duty, kind of.
Yeah. Go sing some happy birthday songs, man.
I check out when I can, but you know what I mean. You got to. What about you? Got any kids, Tony?
I got 2 boys. Yeah, my kids are older though. They're 19 and 16. So
I got 2 girls, 5 and 7. No
nice.
Boys, and no more quarterbacks out of this family, but hopefully one of them will like sports. My youngest is like super into gymnastics, and my oldest wants to be an astronaut right now. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wants to be an astronaut. I don't think she can do it.
There's more and more rockets going upwards these days, so there's a pretty good shot at it, actually.
I mean, I'm hoping she can refocus and do something else. I don't want her going up on those test runs and exploding and shit.
You don't want her up there on Bezos' penis rocket?
Hey, bro, if she can get with Bezos, I'll make an exception.
Yeah, you can fly with him as long as he pays me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cool, man. Well, you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here, bro. Appreciate it.
Hey, we'll see you at the draft later, man.
Yeah, you got.
Hey, Corey, you guys should create a network so we can do this more often.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a really
we
good
should
idea.
do that.
It's 7 our time. When is it again?
Yeah.
7. Yeah, 7. You're 7 Pacific.
Tony, are you in the mock?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah.
I want a piece of you, bro.
I'm going down. I'm telling you. I'm going to take it to you.
Who's going to take Pitts first?
Right.
Who's going to take Barkley first? Dun, dun, dun.
You know I'm taking.
What number you guys got?
I think I'm back at like 9 or 10.
You grab that. Why'd you grab 9 or 10?
Because I want to see what RBs are there and I can come back around and get Gibby. That's why.
Oh, he was trying to get your strategy, Tony, because he didn't know what to do. So he was like, "Oh, who should I pick at that late draft?"
I got number 2, so.
Well, if Kyle takes Gibby at 7, that's going to throw off the whole draft. I'm curious to see how it's going to unfold, but I suggest
I'm not taking Gibby at 7. I promise.
What type of mock is it, by the way? I didn't even check the settings. Is it a super flex?
No, it's just a regular PPR.
Okay.
2 running back, 2 receiver, tight end flex.
Gibby will go at 2. I don't like him that much.
One more airplane for you guys for good measure.
Just to send us off.
Yeah. I needed one more of those in my life.
Chromium 6, bro. I'm telling you, keeps you young. All right, peace out, fellas.
Cool. Have a good one, man. See you later. Cool.
Did he just belch before he turned that off?
That was good stuff.
No, I think he pushed the chair back on the concrete.
It sounded like he burped real loud before he got.
I love that guy. I'll hang out with that guy anytime.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
He fit right in with us.
Yeah, that's a good group of guys, man. We got a good group here on the Fantasy Football Network, and it's going to make for some fun shows and fun content too.
I didn't recognize him though from the because I watched the.
Yeah, he was on boot camp earlier. Yeah,
the boot camp, but in the trenches. I watched the in the trenches, and
he
I
was
heard
on the in the trenches. He wasn't in the chat in the meet and greet, but
yeah, he was in the upper left corner.
Yeah,
that was him.
So, I didn't. That's what happens when you get to be 50.
Probably. Well, it's because I don't think he had a hat on then, and he had a hat on now, and he does look different. I mean, it's a little bit different look. Plus, you could see more of him, and this time it's just like kind of close than that. So yeah, it just looks a little bit different. But yeah, it's a good group of guys, and it's going to be a lot of fun working with everybody. And we should just get together for hangouts like this, but with more of us at some point. Just do it. I don't know, maybe weekly or even if it's just once a month. It'd be fun to get everyone together and hang out and chat and kind of talk about players like that or whatever else, how our leagues are going, whatever it is. It'd be a lot of fun.
It would be fun.
So, Tony, let's see how much time. Oh, we got 15 minutes. We're
15
cool.
minutes left. Yeah.
I kind of want you to talk about fantasy quick hits. You're kind of the origins and what you want to do with it and everything like that. So I want to give you some time here to just talk about fantasy quick hits.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So kind of talked a little bit here on our hangout, but just a football junkie, fantasy junkie, and I find myself every year just trying to get some takes. Could be preparation for a draft, or could be just want to kind of hear, maybe I'm thinking about a trade. I want to hear, something on a player, make sure I'm not missing something. And it's real difficult on some of the content that's out there, especially when you go to the videos. They're kind of like these teaser headlines on a certain player, and you start to watch the video. The video is 45 minutes long. There aren't any markers on where they talk about this specific player. And I just want to hear the nuts and bolts on a player. And so some of the content seemed to be a little bit more long-winded and information that I'm not necessarily looking to hear. I just want to get to the content. So I thought it might be cool to create a quick hits kind of stream or link here on YouTube, where people can jump in there and just get exactly what it says. Just get I just want a quick take on a player, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Give me the nuts and bolts, kind of save me from having to do some of the research online, or maybe asking around to some of my fantasy friends what they think on players. And so that kind of was the genesis of it. I couldn't find anything else out there like it, and so we kind of had the birth of fantasy quick hits. And so what I'm trying to do is kind of provide some good content at the same time, just kind of like if I was talking to one of my buddies. Mm-hmm. Hey, here's what I think about this player. Here's kind of some quick thoughts, some things to think about, and kind of take that and digest it, use it how you want. But You know, some of the videos there are about 3 minutes in length. I'm trying to keep them under that 3-minute number. We did some of the IDPs. I did some of the IDPs. Those are around 90 seconds. So 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, I think is plenty of time to get in there, get the information out so people can kind of get my quick hit, my quick take.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. Because like you mentioned, I mean, maybe a video, me and Kyle do videos that are, an hour long. And so if you're looking for something specific, it could be hard to find. I mean, if we're talking about multiple players or something. So it's nice to be able to just go through and find the exact player you're needing, get a quick rundown and call it good. A quick hit, actually, not a quick rundown,
Yeah. What's funny about it is that I'm very guarded with information when I talk to my friends because we're all in fantasy leagues together.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about players, and I don't want to necessarily tell them exactly what I think about a guy. And now I'm broadcasting it all over YouTube.
Well, it was funny when we first started Boom Bust. We said, that's going to happen. So, but it was hard to kind of transition into not being cryptic, talking about stuff, on camera and stuff. I'm like, well, it finally got comfortable enough. It was like, well, here it is. It's all out here now. So,
yeah, but at the same time, I watched some of your quick hits, Tony, and I'm thinking, this guy's telling me what he wants me to think so that he can pull a trade with me in our dynasty league. Like he's thinking 2 steps ahead. He knows that I'm watching these videos and he's trying to sell one of his players and talk down one of mine that he really like. No. He's talking down Najee Harris. So I've got all these worries, but hey, I'll take him off your hands for you.
Very elaborate scheme.
Let me save you.
I'll do you a favor and I'll trade for him, even though he's not worthwhile. So I don't know. I don't know whether to trust your quick hits or not, just because I know you. I'm watching you, man.
I appreciate that.
Such an elaborate scheme.
It's quite the elaborate scheme to win a championship. I'm just throwing that out there, man. That's some desperation. No, I do love those videos, and and they're actually, this is the first time where anyone's really talking about it is today. I guess we kind of mentioned it this morning on the walkthrough, but it's the first time anyone's really talking about it. But those videos are gaining a lot of traction pretty quick with no one talking about it, and so I think other people are liking your content as well, and hopefully it proves helpful for people. And
no, definitely. I'm enjoying making them. What I didn't want to do is there's an abundance of information out there with rankings. You can get rankings, and I just had that question there on projecting where I think Kyle Pitts, where his numbers are going to be, and I do a little bit of that, but I don't really want to get too much into the rankings. I don't really want to get too much into the projections and make it about that. I wanted to kind of make it more about here's my quick take on this player. And I hope that, it connects and resonates and that some of these, fantasy players are interested in hearing and in providing feedback. My hope is just finding, I need to find the time where I can kind of tackle as many of the players, almost like Amel Kiper, where you throw out there some obscure name. And Quick Hits has a video even on this guy, So
this guy has no life other than fantasy football.
What's that?
Just like this guy has no life other than fantasy football. Cool.
Yeah, like nobody else has a quick hit on Ty Montgomery. He even covered Ty Montgomery.
Your Ty Montgomery video you're recording, you're like eating dinner with your wife, just casually talking about something.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Did you have a question about Ty Montgomery?
I think if I could do like the top 35, 40 at each, at least at the running back and wide receiver position, maybe cover the top 15, 20 quarterbacks. And I try not to also I don't need to get into Patrick Mahomes unless my take is going to be different than what everybody else's take is. Everybody knows Patrick Mahomes is an elite. He's going to be a stud.
I actually disagree with that. I think it's nice to because you're still weighing options.
You hear that confirmation?
When I'm talking about when I'm thinking about, am I taking Patrick Mahomes or Kyler Murray? Maybe I want to hear some fine details because on a personal level, I'm torn there. So it's like, would I rather have this player or this player? Is it worth spending an earlier draft pick on Patrick Mahomes when I can wait till my second round pick and get Kyler Murray. You know, so that, I mean, it does matter in my opinion.
So that's a great point. If you watch, I did a quick hit on Josh Allen. Now, if you watch Josh Allen, you might kind of get an idea of what I think about Patrick Mahomes, because I think I would and I could and would make a case that Josh Allen should be the number one quarterback taken this year. I like him that much. I think for a number of reasons.
So it does matter what you think about Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? So
but he's still elite. But he's still elite.
Daniel Derryberry says Ty Montgomery, less than 15 seconds needed for that quick hit. That is the quickest hit.
This is the quickest.
Ty Montgomery, stay away.
Super quick hit.
That's the quick hit.
No, I love quick hits, and I love what you're saying about not doing rankings, because I had my best year.
Guy doing rankings.
Here's the thing with fantasy football.
I don't want to be that guy.
Here's the thing with fantasy football. Fantasy football is, a lot of it is skill, but most of it is luck. I mean, let's just be honest. It's a guessing game. It's a bet. It's a gamble, because players might get hurt. You know, game situation and stuff may not play out to what you need. Do what?
Let's not to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No.
I said I got to start like doing timeouts if I want to jump in. Let's nuance and say it's calculated luck.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. It definitely it's an educated guess. It's not just complete guessing, but it's very calculated. Yeah. But
if it was an exact science, there wouldn't be this many people with this many rankings.
Yeah, rankings have all this stuff. A lot of where I'm going with that is fantasy football is so much of it is just gut feeling, right? It's what do you feel in your bones? Like even the discussion we were having with FloJo earlier. What do you feel? Like, what do you think's going to happen? There's no guarantees in anything. Everyone has their own opinion and stuff. So you just go with your gut. And that's why I don't even look at rankings anymore. Last season, I didn't look at rankings all season, like weekly rankings or anything like that. I just went off of my gut. And I 100% had the, I 100% had the best season I had. I was only in 4 leagues last year. That's tripled this year because of Boom Bust and now Fantasy Football Network. But I was in 4 and I won all 4. And it's just like, wow, I didn't look at ranks. I just went off my own thoughts and feelings and gut feelings stuff. And it worked out. And sometimes, like, that's what I like about quick hits is you get the information and then you make the decision yourself. And to me, that seems better than rankings, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with most of that. I want to add in there that a big part of it, and we all know this, but sometimes we maybe don't necessarily say it out loud, but a big part of what we do is just having fun.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, I don't want to make it so formalized where you kind of take the fun out of it. And look, that also, like you guys, you're both, Cowboy fans. So when you're ranking players, you're gonna put Zeke up a little bit higher and maybe Dak up a little bit higher than somebody else. You want a guy on your team that you can root for.
Well,
I am not free of bias. I am completely guilty of homer.
No, but there's nothing. We're all like that. I mean, we all know. Look, I did an auction. Again, I told you, did an auction draft Thursday night, and it's a 2 quarterback league, so quarterbacks are more expensive. But we drove there's a massive KC fan there. We all know he isn't leaving the draft without Patrick Mahomes. How much do you think he paid for him in a $200 cap? We have
120.
He paid $91 for Mahomes.
I was going to say 87.
And he's got two quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end. So you should see his receiving core. His receiving core, guys, I didn't even know we're in the league.
Core is a term used loosely here, huh?
But we weren't going to let him get out of there without spending at least $90 on Mahomes. So that's just the price. So
that's one thing when me and Kyle started Boom Bust that we talked about is making it real, talking about trades and stuff, and talking about bias, because a team, you're fans of a team, you're fans of players, and that plays into a trade. You know, when you're using a trade calculator or something online, none of that is taken into account. When you're using these tools, you're using computers, these professional analyst stuff, they don't know the people in your league and what biases they have. Like I said, someone's going to charge us more for a Cowboys player because they know we'll pay a little extra, but that's 100%. Part of the game, and that is real, and that's something to highlight. Yeah, and that's why I like our content, as a whole, as in, like, YouTube content creators is it's more real than something else.
So that's what I'm trying to do on Quick Hits. I want to try and kind of hone that in a little bit more, make it a little bit more fun.
Yep.
And not just, I want to get good information and content out there, but I don't want to just give a take and not be able to support it. But I do want to have fun and you kind of do it in a fun way. I think with CJ Mosley, I did my take on CJ Mosley, and I'm pretty sure that out of all the IDP content and IDP sites, I was the only one that quoted John Kreese from Cobra Kai, talking about CJ Mosley being like the snake brumating, not really asleep and just waiting for his moment to attack. And so, things like that, I do want to bring that element in, and hopefully it connects and people enjoy it. If people enjoy it, then I'm accomplishing the goal.
Totally. Exactly. Okay, guys, I love that. We got to wrap this up now. We have the TCK podcast. They're doing some team coverage. I think I saw the Saints and who else? I can't remember. The Falcons. So those will be two good team previews that they're covering. And then right after that is the premiere of Snoozers or Losers with us three that we recorded earlier this week. So enjoy that. We're really excited about that new content. That's a FFN original there. And then after that is Plugged In with Jay, where he interviews Arian Foster, exclusive interview with Arian Foster. And then after that, you'll see us all again for the FFN mock draft. You guys got anything else to say before we wrap up?
I promise you won't see us this many times in a day ever again. But thanks for being here.
All righty. Tony, you have anything else, buddy?
Yeah, I'm going to, you guys can mind looking at the camera?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Flojo, I'm coming for you, brother, tonight. The draft. Me and you.
It's coming for you, brother.
It's going to be dirty. Yeah.
Oh, look at the time. See you guys later.
All right, later, guys.